back to yet another episode of Perth Podcasts, Athlete Things, Road to Masters Worlds this time in South Africa. Today with me, I have Jason Raby, also known as Skanky Joe. How are you doing today?
Good, Bobby. Good. How about yourself?
I'm great. Yeah. So earlier this year, you competed at the Australian. You basically competed at APA Nats, and
Yeah, Masters and Equipped Nationals. Yeah,
you solidified your ticket from there, and it's also not your first time going to Worlds, right?
no. So last year I went to Worlds in Mongolia. So that was competing for the old federation. Yeah. And so last year was, though I was competed as a 93. So moving up this year to the big boy weight class, probably the weight class I should be in.
How tall are you?
I'm 6 foot, which is about 180 or 186. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So look, it's been a hard decision to move up because of being a big boy and dropping all that weight. So deciding to go up was very hard. But it's just one of those things. I think that a lot of injuries and the body just decided it's time to do what it needs to do.
Yeah. And how's the bulk been treating you?
The
bulk been treating you?
Good. So been trying to not just dirty bulk. So I have a nutritionist, and he kind of keeps me in check with that sort of stuff. We've done kind of like a bit of a slow build. It's probably been over 6 months or so. No, it's probably been 8 months. Probably since around January decided to do it. So what's that, 9 months now? And only sitting at around 102 average at the moment. So it's competed at 99 kilos at Masters Nats. So I think it's one of those things where there's no point in going from 93 all the way to like 107 and having to cut, because it's just going to be all fat and no muscle.
Yeah. And do you notice any difference in, I guess, like your lifts, or just maybe like day-to-day life in general? Like how's being like 3 digits now?
Look, the first time 3 digits hit those scales, I was a bit like, holy crap. I've seen, man, like honestly, I hadn't seen 3 digits on the scales since probably 2013, I would say.
Oh, wow.
Like a long time. And I was just, so look, I knew I was going up, so it wasn't that scary, but the first time it hit, I'm like, oh, there we go. But look, everyday life's fine. There's no dramas because, as I said, I think we've been doing it slowly. So it's not one of those things where you just stack it on and then you're puffing and panting all the time. So, but lift wise, bench is just blowing up. Huge.
180, right?
Yeah, 182.5, mate. But look, got to lock that down on the platform. But yeah, bench has just been up and up and up and up. But look, squats are still a work in progress, and it's just one of my high anxiety lifts, and they always have been. And yeah, deads. I don't know. Deads are what. Look, I'm built for bench. The other two, I just have to try and do my best.
I hear you, brother. So, Danny did inform me that you do overthink your squats a little, and I guess it can lead to sort of that anxiety and overthinking. So, do you want to help break us down into what goes through your head behind the root of that, and what have you done to address it?
Look, I've got a bit of a comp routine with squats now, which seem to be helping, which is it's the only lift where I will use music to help me. So normally just on the day, I'll have 2 songs which will just resonate with me. one that will just amp me right up, and then one that will mellow me out because, the adrenaline will hit, you'll do the squat, and then I'll need to calm down because I got the shakes, my hands are shaking and everything. So I just got something that's just chill me out and calm me down. So I've got that approach, which seems to be working now. But a lot of the time it's just been, I don't know, like training. I'll get on the bar and I'll be all confident, and then I'll walk out and I'll get myself set, and then I'll be like, yeah, you got this. And then as soon as I take that brace, my brain goes, no, you don't got this. Oh man, it is just, it's frustrating, but it's just been working through a lot of things of, anything over 200 is going to feel heavy. Doesn't matter how much it is, it'll always feel heavy. And it's a matter of making sure that even though it's heavy, it feels comfortable. And if it's comfortable on my back, then I know it's going to go back up again. So, and the biggest thing for me has just been, always thinking about depth, but depth is just something that's there all the time now. So one of my things that I got Danny to do at the last one was just, as I was walking out, is just trust yourself, trust your body, because I don't need to think about depth. It's just brace, go, and the body knows where to go for depth, and just concentrate on that coming back up again.
And that's one less thing to think about, right?
Man, and you can't really overthink depth. That's the thing, right?
Yeah. I feel like unless you're equipped, there's no need to think about depth.
Well, I don't know. I had to make the switch to SBDs last year.
Yeah.
I was in A7 riggers and made the switch because of Worlds, and I've never looked back, to be honest. My depth is way more consistent in SBDs,
yeah, for sure.
and way deeper than they are with the stiff sleeves. So I'm like, and I've played around with VBT before, and I've got all that data to prove that there's no difference in speed for me. So why bother switching back to riggers? I actually sent them down to Danny, and Danny's got them now. So
yeah, SBD for the win.
Yeah, something like that.
City strength. You guys know what to do.
Sponsor a male masters athlete. You've already got Liz Craven. You just need a
male model.
A male model.
All right. So, like we covered earlier, it's not your first Worlds, right? You did compete in Mongolia, and how did you do?
Yep. So I ended up coming fifth overall, which
is pretty dope.
I guess, look, I didn't really put much thought into that. Like, I'm like, oh yeah, came fifth. And it kind of only dawned on me the other day that I actually come fifth, Look, being Mongolia, there wasn't a, heap of people there. So you're not going to get all your world champions. Like Lane Norton was meant to be there and competing in my weight class, and he pulled out last minute. But I don't know. You still got to be there on the day and do the lifts. And I was there on the day, and we had I had one guy bomb out above me, and I think that's what pushed me up. So close to a bench medal too. So I ended up coming fourth on bench, and ended up not going to say I got robbed, but but the Mongolian guy he bombed on his first two and got the third, and it was a 195. So he just come through and took the bench gold straight off everyone. Got one lift. Wow. Yeah, but then later on he opened up too heavy on deads and bombed out completely the comp by missing all three. So
shit.
Yeah.
Lesson learned.
Yeah, lesson learned.
Yeah. So returning to Worlds for a second time, was travel an issue for you last year?
No, it's So there's only a 3-hour time difference with Mongolia. So what we did is we went through to South Korea, and we stayed in the airport overnight. So we got an airport hotel for 12 hours and just stayed in the airport. Slept the night, jumped the plane the next day, and headed over. So there was no real time difference or travel difference or anything like that, which was good. It's just the food. So,
and coming into South Africa, how would you say you're going to prepare better? I guess. How would you prepare yourself?
Prepare differently. Yeah. Haven't really thought too much about the travel. Getting there in plenty of time, of course. So leave Friday next week. They're 8 hours behind. So, and then I compete on the Wednesday after. So heaps of time between when I arrive and when I actually have to lift. So that should give my body enough time to adjust to that new time zone.
Yeah.
I hope.
You'll be fine.
So, yeah.
You gave us a brief rundown on Masters Worlds last year. So now, after that, that was also your last meet as a 93, I believe?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it was, yeah. Yes.
Yeah. And then you decided to go up to 105?
Well, the body decided that it was done with being hurt all the time. So, yeah.
Does your body still hurt now?
Not as much, but look, I've had several back injuries, and in the end, I think the last one, I was toying with the idea of going up, but the last one was pretty bad that I thought, you know what, I had a chat to Danny, had a chat to my nutritionist, and they said, look, in the end, it's your decision. And I just went, oh, well, stuff it, let's do it. I've brains now said I can do it, so let's do it.
And no regrets?
No regrets. Have to buy all new shirts, have to buy all new pants. So that's been the biggest problem.
Reiteration of the sweatpants again?
Yeah. Well, I haven't. I should probably take the snap pants again. Yeah, why not?
Yeah, just don't get yourself banned, please.
I mean, you got to take your pants off to weigh in, so.
Fair enough. I think it'd be really cool if like you wore it to weigh in and then you just ripped it up.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah. Saves you and your competitors a bit of time.
Well, look, it saves everyone time, right?
Yeah, everyone should wear snap pants.
Yeah.
How did you get the idea, though?
I don't. It's just those sort of pants are back in. You know, they were around when I was a kid, right? And
Magic Mike.
Look, I'm not going to say the full rip-off snap pants that I got were in or are in at the moment, just the sides. But I don't know. I saw everyone wearing them. I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to go on AliExpress and buy some, and that's what they were, the full rip-off ones. I'm like, beautiful. This is perfect for weigh-in.
Was the crowd receptive when you did the deed?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Firstly, had Rory in the weigh-in room, and he didn't know what to expect when I ripped them off, and I think he was a little bit shocked. And then, look, crowd seemed receptive. I got a. I think they knew it was coming though, so yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so now this is your second Worlds, and I guess you are about 17 days out?
Something like 16 days out. Yeah.
So it's not a lot of time. And how would you say from last year's Mongolia to this year's about to be World Championship, how would you say you've improved over that period of time? It's been a year.
Bench. Bench is, like I said, it's flying. Like last year I did 162.5 was my, I missed my third at Mongolia 165, but I don't know. Like that's between then and nationals, that's 11 kilos that I've put on the platform. But we're talking probably 165 was my end range anyway, or a real dirty 170. So I've managed to put 12 and a half on my bench in the gym alone. So that's awesome. I had a back injury that hit me in December that I've had to rehab from. So that was a full disc extrusion on my back. And so that was a little bit of a process to come back from that. So, squats and deadlifts kind of lag behind with that sort of thing. Bench, we could just Larsen press everything or feet up. So we could just keep on doing bench, and that's why it kind of grew over that period. But since having to rehab that and come back, it's those lifts are still, they're the higher anxiety lifts, because every time you do something, you feel your back a little bit and you're like, oh, is it going to go again?
Yeah, like that's, and together paired with your overthinking for squats, I don't think it helps as well.
Yeah, like, but look, no, but it's look, they're both a work in progress. They're both probably around the 4-year mark since I've hit a single PR, but I'm determined to do something about it this time. So I've got one more heavy deadlift and 2 more heavy squats. So let's see what can do with those 2 sessions.
Yeah, I'm glad you are also sort of entering this prep into this huge wave of optimism and positive self-talk. I think it affects how you carry over to your comp as well. Like if you don't think you're gonna do well, like most probably you're not gonna do well. And
look, comp day for me too is just, I don't know, it's fun. It's just there's so much adrenaline that goes with the comp day for me. Once I get those first couple squats out of the way, everything's just, I don't know, feels like smooth sailing, right? It's just
you don't listen to music. It's just good old
just joking around. That's all it gets down to for me, is just having a bit of fun with everyone once you get the squats out of the way.
Yeah. And how has your prep been? Did I ask that?
Yeah, well, we kind of just did talk about prep. How's it? Yeah, how's it gone? So yeah, it's all right.
Sorry. So squats and deadlifts, they are still a work in progress. And what are your goals for this comp then, with that in mind?
Look, I know everyone says that Worlds is different and the travel and so forth, so on, and you should lower your expectations, and you're probably not going to PR, but I'm not going to say I'm built different, but it's just, I think, I don't know. I think I've got the opportunity to do some PRs at Worlds.
I think if you take care of everything, I think travel is part of the prep as well. I think that's what a lot of people neglect.
Yeah.
As soon as you have all of your prep covered, there's no reason why you shouldn't PR.
Yeah, look, I got some numbers in mind. I'd love to hit 220 on the platform. It's been a goal of mine for a long time, and I've just been shy every time. One, like that 3 red plate with a collar bench, that 175 would be great. And if I can do that on my second, and then we try for 183rd, or if we even skip 175, do 177.5 and YOLO something for a third, that'd be great. But locking down that 175 on the platform for bench. And, that 175's potentially enough for, at this stage, maybe, so I don't know, we're doing comms and masters at the same time at this competition, right?
Yes. And I know you guys can also sort of combine your results.
Yeah, so it's one lift, 2 comps. And, that 175 is bench gold So I'm nominated. My bench nom is, I think it's maybe 8 kilos above the next person.
Yeah.
And, we've still got more to add to that. So potentially gold in comms, maybe around 4th or 5th with worlds. So it just depends how people go with that. And look, deadlift, I did 250 last year and in Mongolia. So I'd love to be able to do more than that. So anywhere above 250, I'm not really fussed.
What did you do earlier in nationals this year?
245. So, but it was a weird one. 240 moved really badly, and I was so far behind. I ended up coming second, so far behind Nathan that there was no point in going for anything stupid. So it was, do we just do 245 and get my second ever 9 for 9 day in 8 years, or do we YOLO something? So just lock down, a 9 for 9 day. Yeah. And then 245 moved. So, yeah, I don't know. It's just, whatever.
That's great. And I guess we can shift our conversation a little away from comp now, because we did cover it, unless there's anything you'd like to cover as well.
Probably not. I think we've covered pretty much everything. Yeah.
All right, so let's move on to the shits and giggles of this section.
Yeah, the fun stuff.
Yeah. So, I know you and Laura, you guys are very heavily involved in, I guess, volunteering for APA, right? Because I remember you guys were the MCs or live stream commentators for one of the events.
So we did Masters. Well, look, the very first ever live streamed 3-lift comp for APA was at Perth, and we set up the live stream with our gear, and then Laura and I commentated on that one together. So, we can say we're the first 3-lift. Unfortunately, someone snagged the first comp, snagged a bench only comp in before us, but we were kind of testing the back end of a few bits and pieces on the APA side of things, and we did some live stream there, commentary there, and we've done some live stream commentary together at Masters Nats, which was a bit of fun. So
it's like a little husband and wife bonding activity.
Yeah, look, it's fun, man. Have to drag the kids along. We just throw them in the corner with a couple of iPads, and they're happy. So that's fine. But we've done a few together now, and we've got a couple more coming up. Like Laura's heading up to the Sunshine Coast where Sims are doing a comp while I'm away, and she's going to be running their live stream for them and setting that up. So they've got something to show everyone.
Yeah, that's sweet, man. And I guess it just goes to show how regular you guys do volunteer. And I guess you could say my point of bringing that up is what is your stance on volunteering for meets? Because I feel like in your community there might be mixed views on this, I guess, opinion on volunteering.
Look, I think it's been largely accepted. Okay. I think there's just a few people that don't like the idea, and fair enough. I don't mind people having a differing of opinion, because that means other people come up with ideas and on how to approach it. But I kind of like it because, I don't know, it's, if you haven't ever volunteered before at a comp, you don't know what you're missing. I don't know. I love it. It's just, I don't know. I think the biggest problem was when it came out is that everyone's first initial reaction is spotting and loading, and they don't think about all the other things around it. And there's so many things that can be done, and not just at a competition. We're talking outside of competitions too. So, spotting and loading is just one part of it. After that, you've got all committee related stuff, and there's even set up pack up for the competition. There's even helping out on the paperwork side. There's an endless list of things that you can do. So I don't know. I like the idea. Will it be good that we get to a point where we don't have to do this? Yeah. It's also very tiring doing spotting and loading. So if you had a couple of crews where you could change out, each flight. Right? How good is that? Like, I love back spotting on squats. Bench, I could take it or leave it because we've got so many people that do self lift outs now that it's a little bit boring. And then deads just suck by that third deadlift where you have to roll it back, clean the bar, roll it back every time. So it's just...
And then you got to bend over to put the plates in.
Oh, so tiring. And, then you've got someone that's lifting 350 kilos and then go straight back down to someone who's doing 180, and just all those plates you got to unload and reload again eventually. But anyway...
So I guess that's why people don't want to volunteer.
Well, maybe that's why people don't want to spot and load. Yeah, sure.
Yeah. And would you say it's vital in powerlifting, just volunteering it by itself?
Yeah, it is, man, because it's there's volunteer burnout, right? Burnout is a real thing. And it happens all the time. And if it's the same people putting their hand up to do it every time, then that's when they get burnt out. But the problem is that if you don't have new people putting up their hand, when it comes to all those other people that always do it, they're like, okay, I'm done with powerlifting now, I'm walking away. You've now got to retrain a whole new lot of people, and then you're starting from all over again. Whereas if you have this, I'm not going to say it's kind of like a succession plan, but if you have, everyone's got like a base level of training on how to do tech desk, or how they do spotting and loading, how they do live stream, how they do commentary, how they do MC. If there's all this stuff there in place and everyone's got a little bit of knowledge everywhere, you don't have to start all over again.
Yeah, it's just like being able to rotate among roles. Like, it's not just spotting and loading, like you said. Like, I think people don't realize what they can bring to the table. Yeah,
that's right. Look, you can have the gift of the gab and throw your own commentary. Why not? So that's volunteering. Exactly. So anyway, look, we've all tried a few different roles out, and my preference is to be on the platform. Laura's preference is to do tech desk or volunteer coordinator or something like that. So yeah, I like being in the background of everyone's photos.
you gotta get your face up there.
It's like, hey mate, I'm on King of the Lifts. There's one of Steve's videos from when he did the Canberra comp and did a good number down there. I'm like, that's me in the background. That's me back. That's me back spotting. And then I'm in when Danny did that competition too. I'm like, that's me in the background. I didn't know Danny back then, apart from that's the first time I'd met him. So yeah.
Right. All right. So I guess it helps having your face out there.
Yeah, I guess so. It does. Look, I don't know. What's Danny called? Danny calls me his junior master lifter. I've got the mindset of a junior, but the body of a master.
Yeah. So share us what a junior master is, and why are you the embodiment of such a prestigious title?
I don't know. I act like a 14-year-old sometimes, but I'm actually 42. So that's what it comes down to. I've got the mindset. No, I've got the yeah. I don't know, man. I got young kids. Love dad jokes with them and stuffing around with them, and I think most of my team with Danny, they're all juniors, or maybe just fresh opens, and we have a group chat together, and that all keeps me young. And I think it's just I don't know. It's just, and look, I can tell you the other reason why he calls me a junior lifter is because I do stupid things in the gym sometimes, like overshoot something chronic. And we have to then pull back and taper early. Had to do that for nationals. I just pulled something really stupid on dead. I missed a deadlift, and he's like, "Well, I guess we're going to have to taper that a little bit earlier than we expected." So, but yeah, I think it's just that mindset of being young and interacting with a lot of the younger crowd.
Yeah. And I guess it also helps that you do have the energy of a junior, right?
Most of the time. Maybe not on weekends when the body's all beat up from the week of training and I'm just kind of rolling out of bed rather than getting up out of bed. So yeah.
Hopefully you don't have to call out a bit in South Africa.
Look, my brain's like, oh, geez, I hope the beds are good, because if the beds are too soft, I might be sleeping on the floor.
Oh my!
It's not good for the back. Need like a firm kind of bed.
All right, so Jason, I think some of us would like to know your Instagram handle is Skanky Joe, right? And
yep.
Your name's not Joe, so
no.
Share with us the origin of where it came from.
It's not actually really that great of a story, but it was back in the day of gaming, where you'd have to take your actual PC over to a mate's house and you plug them all together and for a LAN party. And that was also back in the day when games like Call of Duty, or it was a Counter-Strike back then, like games like Counter-Strike was like a mod for Half-Life. It wasn't a standalone game. You had to have Half-Life and then install this mod over the top of it. And there was no online chat with microphones and stuff. It was all, text-based. So I think I was just typing Skanky Ho to someone, and the J and the H are right next to each other. And I put Skanky Joe, and they're like, "That's your name." And I'm like, "Okay, that's fine. Then I just ran with it from there, really." So it's no real big story, but yeah. And I think it's just one of those things, you just had it as an online gaming profile, and then just stuck it with everything, really.
Yeah. So thanks for sharing with us your story, man.
That's all right.
And I think this is a good place to end it off. I think that's all from me.
Cool. Sounds good.
All right. So to all the viewers, thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you in the next episode. Goodbye.